Welcome to IFAStories, where ancient wisdom meets modern storytelling. Step into the sacred tradition of Ifa, rooted in Yoruba land and shaped through centuries of interaction with neighboring West African cultures, and preserved in the Lukumi tradition of the diaspora. Here we engage the Ifa divination corpus, the sacred Odu through which Orunmila reveals insight into destiny and moral order, reflected in the lives of Orisha, Irunmole, Awos, communities, and all who seek guidance. These are not distant myths, but living teachings, bridges between past and present, illuminating responsibility, consequence, and the human path. Honor the wisdom. Reflect on destiny. Journey with us into the heart of Ifa. Subscribe and let the stories speak. Learn more at IFAStories.com. He performed divination for the two brothers. Two brothers lived in Ife, named Kiwuru and Kuwuwu. Both had loincloths, and their profession was burning forests to make charcoal to sell. They both went about together. Only one could leave the forest with clothing to sell the charcoal in the city, while the other remained naked at the entrance of the forest. One day, one of them became ill, and he stayed at the entrance while the other went to carry out his work. The sick one covered his body with the clothing before the other returned. The sick man died, and the neighborhood blamed the other for not having intervened and for leaving his brother alone. Therefore, the deceased was buried with the only clothing they both possessed. When the other returned, he was told about his brother's death and the funeral. The neighbors did not know that the brother had been buried with the only clothing they both owned, and at dusk, the living brother went to the grave, exhumed the body, and removed the loincloth. While doing so, he observed a shining object, and digging, he began finding more shining objects. The more he dug, he found a mine of gold and diamonds, which at that time were unknown, being the first to see gold and diamonds that the world later came to know. From that discovery, he became rich, with great opulence, beginning to make sculptures of gold and diamonds for the aristocracy. Kuwuwu was the first to make crowns of gold and diamonds in the world. When this Odu appears in divination for a destitute person, it is said that he must make a special sacrifice with a goat, which must be buried in the earth so that abundance may come. He must be warned not to despise any poor person. The sacrifice must be prepared by placing the head of the goat, 2 pigeons, 2 portions of the head of a pig, and much cocoa butter inside a pot or vessel with the appropriate leaves on the floor of the house where he lives before burying it with the following incantation. Ifa Oyeku-Meji, ise oriran minimonje. Ona orisan la nimonto. Motono titi mode ilu okoro yako. Mogbo gudu gudu agbani ile enifo. Agbani onifo ndani ojojomo ni ilere. Mogbo kekere ipesi ni moyalowo. Ipesi ni anfi ki olo arere gunjin. Omo aro korodoro agbe olu aye wasile. Mogbo jinwin jingin ni moyalagbede. Ire mogun-omo-alagbede akoko.